Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel. This is my review for the first 2 episodes of the Disney Plus original series, WandaVision, which is the first piece of MCU content to come out after the end of the Infinity Saga, and is the first TV series to be created by Marvel Studios. Even though this is not the first TV series set within the Marvel Cinematic Universe because of shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and the Netflix series, but those were created by Marvel Television. This is Marvel Studios' own doing with Kevin Feige in complete control. This review is going to be more of a first impressions type of video. There's not going to be any spoilers at all. And frankly, there's not really a whole lot to spoil because there's a lot of mystery surrounding this show just with these first 2 episodes. It takes place after Avengers Endgame, sure, but we're thrust right into a 50s sitcom. We don't know why Wanda and Vision are in this setting. We don't know how Vision is back from the dead after, the Soul Stone was yanked out of his head by Thanos in Infinity War. So right off the bat, the show doesn't really answer a whole lot of questions, but there's a lot of mystery surrounding why this is happening, and I think it's well worth it to be invested, especially considering that this show is supposed to be interconnected between the upcoming Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness. But how is the show itself? Because it's gotta be good, right? It is, yes. I think between this and The Mandalorian, I feel much more enthusiastic about this than I did The Mandalorian when it first premiered, because with Mandalorian I thought, this is good, but it's Star Wars. It's what it is, and I like it for that. But with WandaVision, it feels more fresh, it feels more original, even though it's doing a trope based off of old TV sitcoms, and with these first 2 episodes, you got the 50s and the 60s. It's very original for a comic book property, and at the very least, it's probably the most original thing that Marvel has done. And the way they capture the look of these old sitcoms is just perfect right down to a T. It feels like you're watching old episodes of The Dick Van Dyke Show or Bewitched. The sets look great and so authentic for the time periods they're supposed to replicate. It's filmed in that 4:3 aspect ratio that I'm myself doing in this review, and it has that classic audience laugh track, which this show actually was filmed in front of a live studio audience. And the laugh track fits well when it's appropriate, and I think it's very humorous. And also, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen do a really fantastic job at selling you at the fact that these 2 characters are stuck in a sitcom. With Elizabeth Olsen, you can tell that her performance is inspired by Lucille Ball and Elizabeth Montgomery, and you can clearly see there's a lot of Dick Van Dyke within Paul Bettany's performance. And the first episode is very much a TV sitcom. It feels like the pilot to a 50s sitcom that could last quite a while. And episode 2 feels very much like Bewitched right down to the animated intro, complete with different theme songs for each episode depending on the time period that it's set in. And it's all cheerful and funny and, again, very authentic. But then after a while you realize there's a lot more going on here that we aren't fully aware of. Like, the first episode is just pretty much a sitcom pilot. There's not really any big major plot threads within the MCU until the very end, which I won't say because, again, I don't want to spoil it. And then with episode 2, there are several out-of-place phenomenons that are happening, and you really get a hint of the Twilight Zone. So because of those mysterious moments, and the fact that there's something not completely right with this sitcom trope, that's why WandaVision was probably my most anticipated of the Marvel Disney Plus series, just because it looked so weird and it was shrouded in mystery more than any of the other series. I think these 2 episodes are great. I'm really excited to see the rest of the series going forward. So as a first impression, if I were to give this a rating, I'd say worth seeing in your lifetime. It's weird, it's bizarre, it's charming. Both of your leads are really fantastic, and because they're in a sitcom scenario, they're actually allowed to have a lot more fun and don't have to worry about, the end of the world or the Avengers being split into 2 like they did in the past. So it's very charming, and I can't wait for the rest of the series. And there you go, that's my review for the series premiere of WandaVision. Now, I think it's high time I get back into my regular old aspect ratio and in color. There we go. Scoot over here a little more. I'm going to be reviewing each individual episode, spoiler-filled, on my Patreon page for those who pledge $4 and above. But I will also be reviewing the entire season once it's done here on YouTube for everyone to see. But until then, I want to know what you guys think about the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. If you've seen them, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, leave a comment, support my Patreon page, follow me on social media, and until then, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one.